In this third video, we're going to think about the idea of putting ourselves under new management. So imagine this as the manager's chair. I would like to invite each of you to put your little creature in the manager's chair. So when you're in that manager's chair as your ego, what's that experience like?
A lot of weight on my shoulders.
Yeah.
It feels overwhelming. But it feels like I'm supposed to do it all.
This is the big thing. I'm supposed to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and take your creature out and put your little guy in there. What's your experience of your ego being in that manager's chair?
Yeah, like Linda said, it feels like a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've got to take care of all the details.
Yeah.
And, have to make sure everything's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But if you're a controlling person and want everything, you almost want you want your ego there.
Sure. Because it's you'd rather have, if
you don't want help from anyone
because
you want
if you're
the way
here,
you want it done.
If you're here, you'd rather have this than this.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody's going to be in the chair, you'd rather be you than somebody else, right? Like, that's a lot more precarious.
Yes, yes.
So the main thing about this is pressure.
Mm-hmm.
You're under pressure to perform. You're under pressure to do it all.
Yes.
To be responsible for doing it all. To plan ahead. To sort out things from the past.
Mm-hmm.
Pressure.
But you feel you have control, and maybe that's why people want to.
Well, if you have the illusion of control.
Yeah, the illusion, yes.
I like it when people say, "Oh, yeah, I'm ready to give up control." And I'm thinking, wow, what was it like to have it? That must have been amazing, right?
Yes.
Like but this
illusion.
It's an illusion.
Yes.
So giving it up is you're giving up the illusion.
True.
What a nice thing.
Mm.
Because we're so used to being in this chair, then even if you turn to spiritual practice, then the only chair available is sort of my meditation sessions, my yoga class, my therapy group, whatever.
Once a week deal.
Once a week deal, but it doesn't. This is called self-improvement.
Yes.
Because this one, it's right and truth of being in that chair isn't questioned. Okay? You're just trying to bring, as you said, you're trying to bring things more under control.
Yeah, it's how we've been trained,
Yeah.
conditioned.
And so this one is only like sort of secondary.
And it's not operational all the time.
And when you're in class, and when you
practice.
remember.
And when you remember, but often you see you don't, or you blame yourself for not being a good practitioner in some way, right? So it becomes
another should.
It becomes another should, which, what a shame, right? Because the thing that was meant to relieve your pressure and improve your quality of life becomes one more place to judge yourself on performance.
Yes, ego again. Ego to a spiritual practice.
Yeah. So let's assume that both of these chairs exist. And we'll call this one the manager's chair, and we'll call this one the assistant manager's chair. And that they would work together. What qualities would you like a manager to have?
Loving, non-judgmental, a vision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just cooperating.
Mm-hmm. Caring.
Flexible.
Flexible.
Adaptable.
Yeah. Out of these three characters, which one would best represent those qualities?
This one right here.
I believe. So what if the configuration was this? What qualities would you hope for in an assistant manager?
Well, that they'll cooperate, get along with the manager.
Be able to follow direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also have some trust that the vision that the manager has is working.
Mm-hmm.
And that trust will come out of experience rather than faith.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, whenever I allow this,
Yes.
things seem to work out better.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I listen, then I can follow through on the good ideas and vision coming from the manager.
And things move forward.
And things move forward, and it works out not only good for me, but often then, in relationship terms, it works out better.
Yes. There's no conflict.
There's no conflict. So, to me, this is a healthier configuration. Sometimes in spiritual practice, people think the idea is to eliminate these. It's not really possible, and not really necessary. What you want is, in my opinion, is a better cooperation here. But when this one's in the manager's chair, this chair isn't there.
Yeah.
Hey, it's just all up to me.
Because they think they're in charge.
Yes.
Well, and the pressure is the main thing,
Yeah.
you know.
And it's hard to work with a person like
Sure,
that wants to be in that chair.
sure. Because they're not very open to your input.
No, they're always right,
They're always right.
Yeah.
and they always want it their way.
Sure.
Yeah.
So this is the thought about putting yourself under new management. That ideally what we're hoping for is allowing this one to be in the place for which it's best suited. And allow this part of you to be in the place for which it's best suited.
But in order for this part of you to be in this chair as a manager, one needs to make meditation a regular practice rather than once a week.
Yeah, because otherwise it will devolve into self-improvement,
Yes.
right? And it isn't exactly about self-improvement, although improvement will happen as a byproduct. So this part isn't an add-on. This part is closer to you than your personality is. So this is the idea about putting yourself under new management. Thank you.